Well, here we are in another part of my backyard that doesn't have a whole lot planted in it yet. And I realized a little while ago that spring just isn't spring without having some spring blooming bulbs like tulips and daffodils and crocus and so forth. So I brought a few here today to show you how I plant bulbs. And it's a simple thing. I mean, these bulbs, they want to grow. But it's very important that you understand size is everything when it comes to bulbs. So starting with the large bulbs, things like daffodils and hyacinths and tulips that have a big, good hefty bulb to them. I always choose an area where they're going to get at least a half a day of direct sun during the summer months or the spring months while their foliage is green. And the reason that it's important is because the foliage these things produce next spring is what will fuel the growth of the bulb underground for the following spring's flowering. So I've dug a hole. Dig a big enough hole where you can put all 5 bulbs in at one time. Now I've got it down. The general rule of thumb is you plant your bulbs about 2.5 times as deep as the height of the bulb. I've got my bulb food here, scatter that in to the hole, stir it around in the soil because you know the roots are going to go down below the bulb. The pointy end goes up. The area that has the old roots, that goes down. Okay, so all you need to do is provide the right conditions. A nice cool soil, nice loose soil, and water. Then I like to put a little pack of pansies over the top of these things, and that tells me exactly where those bulbs are, so that I'm not guessing as to where to put the water if it's dry. Now, something else you need to know about bulbs is the different bulbs bloom at different seasons. Now, like I said, these bulbs like to have at least half a day of direct sun while the foliage is green, but there are some bulbs that will grow just fine in the shade. And one of those is called English bluebells. It's a hyacinth, a type of hyacinth. I would suggest when you go into the garden center and you see the huge selection these garden centers have, first off, go with what appeals to you visually right off the bat. And even though we're planting just a few bulbs in this backyard, there are some places like the Dallas Arboretum that our sister show has been to that plant hundreds of thousands of bulbs every year. I wouldn't like that job at all. I'd like to stick with the ones that come back on their own. So next time you're in Dallas in the spring, check out the Dallas Arboretum. Otherwise, get some bulbs in the ground this fall so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor next spring. So coming up is decorating with wave pansies.